Good evening and welcome to tonight's Angela Ray Show. I hope that you all have had a great week. Of course, we were off last week, 2 weeks ago, had the opportunity to talk to the incredibly talented DC Glenn of Tag Team. And boy, that was an amazing interview. For all of you who will be catching our broadcast on the replay, thank you so much for hanging out, making comments, and sharing, even though you're not catching us live. For everyone who will be catching the broadcast live tonight, you know what to do. Go ahead and slide in those comments. Let us know where you are watching from tonight, and be sure to share the broadcast with a friend. Again, this is the Wednesday Hump Day edition of the Angela Ray Show. If you've been watching us for a while, you know that we have moved from 5 days a week to 1 day a week. Definitely glad to be able to connect with you all. And as usual, we are going back to starting with our Ray of Motivation moment. And so for our Ray of Motivation moment tonight, I want to ask the question, are you taking losses? Or are you taking lessons? And this was actually from a sermon that I heard on Sunday from Minister George Houston. Shout out to Minister George Houston. And I think that this question is such a good way to reflect on each and every moment that we face challenges, because everyone faces challenges. We all have roadblocks, and we all have detours, and we all have speed bumps along the way. That is everyone. Doesn't matter your income level, your education level, where you live, or where you're from. The difference is not what you face when you get to the detour, it's how you face it and what you learn. Because believe me, you can take a loss, learn a lesson, and never have to go back to repeat it. Or you can truly take a loss and keep coming back over and over and over to the same lesson. So again, tonight's Ray of Motivation moment. Are you taking losses, or are you taking lessons? I hope that you all are taking lessons. I know that is my goal. So I am excited tonight to welcome St. Louis native Beverly Nelson. And y'all like, wait a minute, do I know that name? No, you don't, because she is better known as B-Phlat. Her stand-up career started in 1995 at a talent show in Philadelphia. But since that time, she has had a very busy career performing on 4 seasons of BET's Comicview. She's also been a writer for ESPN Magazine, and she just keeps reinventing herself every single year. So please help me welcome my soror, B-Phlat. B-Phlat, how are you doing tonight? Yeah, let's throw that mid up.
Mid up, keep the pinkies in.
How about that? Keep them pinkies in, like for real.
If I see this one more time.
One more time, though. One more time.
Oh.
So how are you doing?
Well, first, let me apologize to your fan in advance, because I probably will have like 3 or 4 hot flashes. So when you see me get the and I got headsets on that's totally making my hair do a weird thing. So when people look at it, they're gonna be like, "Girl, what was up with her hair? She looks all crazy." But it's like a mohawk thing going on, and I have a yoga class to teach after this, so I'll be trying to comb my hair and be all fly for yoga. It's like right after this. Actually, it's 8 o'clock. But I pushed it back an hour so that my virtual family of yoga people will be joining me an hour late. We only do it a half hour. But
awesome.
They're willing to work with me.
That is so good. That's when you have loyal followers that they're willing to adjust with you. And that is a good thing. Let's go back to 1995, this talent show where you didn't even realize you were going to be doing some stand-up, and that, I guess, was a life-changing lesson, not a loss. So let's go ahead and talk about that. How did you end up at this talent show where you didn't know you were going to perform, and all of a sudden you have this talent that is amazing?
Well, I hung around a talented group of people, and everybody knows them. Jill Scott, Fred Mutt. Well, his stage name is Mutton, but everybody knows him from the creator of that commercial back in the day.
Are you
Fred
talking about the
Thomas.
Budweiser commercial?
The Budweiser commercials. Fred Thomas and I used to host comedy, but they're the ones that got me started because they saw something in me I didn't see in myself. And I used to go and frequent a spot called North by Northwest. It's like a little lounge, and they did poetry there all the time. So that's how I met Jill and her clique of people, and we all used to hang out, and I would act silly. And so everybody was like, oh my God, you're so funny, you're so funny. And I never thought that I was funny. I actually worked at a law firm. I literally worked at the law firm where they filmed the movie Philadelphia, Meatherall, Gelman, Jackson, Kramer, and Jameson. And I was actually the marketing director at the time. But I used to always crack on the attorneys and the associates, the paralegals, everybody, because there was only 3 black people that worked in that firm of like 300 people, and they used to drive me crazy. So I used to talk about them all the time, and my friends were like, girl, you should be a comedian. So I knew I was going to a talent show to see somebody else. But when I got there, they were like, oh no, we signed you up. And it's funny because I thought that I was going to be joining this person on stage, because they were like, bring your trumpet, because everybody knows I play a band and all this other crazy stuff. And I used to play jazz down at Ortley, like a sit-in on a Wednesday night. I'm that well-rounded, all-around person. So they were like, we're tricking her. I thought I was going on stage to play my trumpet as a backup for someone else that was going to sing. And they were like, no, we put you in the comedy show. And I didn't know what to do. So I just went on stage, and I ended up playing Creep by TLC, that beginning part, the trumpet. And I just talked about an encounter where a dude showed up over my house while I was with another dude, but he didn't call, and he had the nerve to be mad, reaching through my mailbox. I saw the hand. So I actually went outside and was talking to him. He's all like, what are you doing? Just, it was a mess. But the thing was, I told him if he would have came, and he let a dude that was in the house, because he was all like, that's what he did. I was just like, you better shut up, because if he got here before you, you'd have been the one out there with your hand in the mailbox.
Oh, that's funny.
So that's what I talked about on stage. And I was on stage for like 5 minutes. And I just told that story because it actually happened like the week before. And I think I maybe got like 4 laughs. Because one thing about me, I had like one of those mini discs. That's old school. Remember the mini discs had the little bitty cassette tapes in them? It was like a handheld voice. And I was like, I'm going to tape my show. So that was like the first tape of anything. And I still have every show that I've ever taped in my life. And I still have that. And I listened to it, and I heard like 4 people laugh. So they laughed, and I was like, well, I'm going to work on that because somebody laughed at it. So ever since then, I've been taping every one of my shows, and I sit and listen to where people laugh. And then I just build on that. It doesn't necessarily mean I throw out the old stuff that they're not laughing at. I just make sure I kind of really tweak what people might think is funny or interesting or what they can relate to. So that's how that happened. So
amazing story.
My friends say I'm funny, but I'm not fun.
Oh, that's hilarious. That is hilarious.
Because I'm like, that is me. Everybody knows me. They be like, she's funny as that, but she's not. I'm strictly business. I'm about my business. I work hard and play hard, but I'm not one of those, class clown, make everybody laugh in the car. No, I don't do none of that until I hit the stage, or I'm acting silly with my husband. But for the most part, yeah, I'm very serious.
Interesting. Well, we got a question from one of our very loyal viewers here at the Angela Ray Show, Edwin, who says, a lady playing the trumpet. That's very unique. What brought you to the trumpet?
Well, I grew up in St. Clair, Missouri, and I and another black girl, we were the only black girls at our school. And I was in the band forced by my mother from like 3rd grade up. So I played 6 instruments, and I settled on the trumpet because there were no girls playing the trumpet. But my mother wanted me to play the clarinet, so I started out with the clarinet. I hated it. Then I went to the flute, and I hated it. Then I went to the trombone, and I hated it. And I just felt like there were other people doing it. It was like other girls doing that, and I wanted to do something the other girls weren't doing, and there were no girls. So I played the trumpet, and from the 4th grade until 12th grade, I was first chair trumpet player. If you know anything about music, you have battle for the chairs.
Oh, yeah.
I was always first chair. I just always felt like when people say I can't do something, then I'm going to prove that I can to myself. It's not to them. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a trumpet player. And for the lady that asked, you can let her know that I do play my trumpet in my one-woman show.
Oh, so you still play the trumpet?
Oh, yes, ma'am. I play it in my one-woman show. It's a 2-hour show called Sophisticated Ignorance. Yes. I have original
Interesting.
songs, songs that I cover. The first
Mm-hmm.
half hour of the show is songs that we cover. And they're all songs that my mom used to make me play when she was drunk in the middle of the night and be like, get up and practice, Dad. I find them forks so you can have that trumpet. You know, like, my mother felt like we used to do everything with a spoon. So if she
Okay.
pawned the fork, you could use a spoon for it. You know, you could eat with a spoon, you could soup, but you can't do everything with a fork. So I remember when she had pawned some silverware so I could get the trumpet. So to get her money's worth, she used to wake up 2, 3 in the morning, half drunk or whatever, or all night and be like, get up. So my brother would have to play drums, I would have to play the trumpet, and she was the first Joe Jackson.
I was about to call her Maddie Clark. I mean, that sounds like Maddie Clark too, because I was like, ain't that what Maddie Clark did in the Clark sisters? Got them girls
Yeah.
up and brought them
Brought them
downstairs to the
girls on,
piano.
yes. Yeah. And then like if she in the middle of the night when she had to go look for my dad or my stepdad, we all had to get in the car, ride around, and she'd play songs, make us sing them, then get in the house and practice. So
That is
I come
funny.
from a very musical family. And today my brother still plays the bass. And actually before COVID he was traveling around playing with reggae groups all over
Okay.
internationally. Yeah. Everybody in the family does something musical.
That's awesome. Now you've been on BET Comic View. I'm sure you've done
Mm-hmm.
other comedy shows that we all love and enjoy. What is that BET Comic View experience like? Because I've been to a live taping before, and I know it can be sometimes just a little bit of a tough audience. So, what was that like for you?
Uh, that's why I tasted 4 times. Actually, it was 6.
Okay.
Because there's no such thing as enough audience to me. All I have to do is walk in, look around, and assess it. And a lot of people don't do that. And they just feel like they have a set. See, that's one thing about me. I don't have no set because I'm crazy. I never know what I'm going to say on stage until I walk in and see the audience.
Uh
And
huh.
then I can be like, okay, you know, you just, if it's all white people, you keep running there talking about your hood and all the stuff in your neighborhood. And if you're in a college, you can't just be on stage talking about your marriage and a divorce and, you know, Rodney King. So certain things you have to be able to assess that. So taking Comic View for me was fun. Every one of my Comic Views are the bomb. And they're funny because I knew what I was getting into and I don't play. And I have to say, when I was there, my manager was with me, and I just kind of sat in my trailer. I wasn't out socializing. I can't do that. I have to stay in my zone. And then once I hit the stage, like boom. And then when I'm done, it's like, hey, I can go around and cool out and talk to people. So I enjoy every one of my tapings. I'm not one of those people that come in and be like, I need this, I need that. Where I don't want to be bothered. And that's why when I come there and my hair and makeup and everything is already done, the people say to me, well, we don't know what to do. I'm like, well, fine. I'm just going to go sit in my trailer. Y'all got some wine, you know, and I'm going to get ready for my show. I need that mental time to decompress. So I don't like all of it. I don't like an entourage. I've never been that person. I've been doing this almost 25 years less, and I roll around this world all by myself. I rarely travel with people because I feel like they got money to pay other people to travel. Y'all can give me that money.
How about
That don't
that?
make no sense. How about that? So that's why I'm like, no, I take care of me. God watches over me everywhere I go. So I don't worry about anything. I've been very blessed in myself. I ain't never had no drama. And I've been from here to Australia performing. So I'm
Now,
blessed.
that's good. That it's good to have that attitude, and then to know that you
Mm-hmm.
are covered in
Yes.
everywhere that you go.
I wear my armor, baby. I wear my shield. People see it. That's why I don't have no drama. People respect me, and they know that I'm a good person. I don't come in and be like, I need this. I told you I'm not like that. Most of the time, the promoter don't even know I'm there. Because one thing, I booked my own flight, everything. Because I don't want to be bothered with wherever everybody else is staying at. Do you see what I'm saying? I don't want nobody, So they'll be like, we'll pick you up. No, I got my rental car. I fly out on the first thing smoking. I don't depend on people to come and get me at 4 o'clock in the morning to me to the airport. That's why I stay by the airport. I either get on the shuttle, I have my own car, and I show up at the shuttle. So don't be calling me, you taking the comedians to lunch. I don't answer my phone for stuff like that. I didn't come here for all of that. I came to work, have my money when I get off the plane. That's when I see you.
Run me my check. Run me my
That's
check.
right. And so I can't tell you how many times I've landed at the airport and the people ain't got my money and I got back on the plane. Because if you ain't got my money at the airport, you ain't going to have my money after the show. So I ain't got time for that. I've done it. And they think I do not play. And it says that in my contract. And you know I've been called the B word, but it spreads. So people be like, oh, man, you better have her money. B-Phlat don't play because she will stay at the airport and pay $150 change fee to go back home.
Yeah, you just got to do it 1 or 2 times, and then everyone knows, and
The
the words. 1 or 2 times, you got to do it 1 or 2 times. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they be talking about, well, we was gonna give you your money at the hotel when we checked it. What's the difference between this 20-minute ride from the airport to the hotel? You should tell that whoever at the hotel, they should have been with you at the airport with my money, because I'm not leaving and getting in your car without it.
Right.
I wrote.
So Edwin has another question for you. In the current climate, people are easily offended. As a comedian, how does that affect your material and your performance on stage? I guess without everyone being politically correct.
Yeah, I can't worry about that because it's comedy, and I feel like if you are insecure and you can't take a joke, you got something going on in you. And most of the time, when we touch upon things that people can relate to, it's something that they're dealing with. So you either gonna laugh about it or you're gonna hate it. There's no middle ground. So I try to appease everybody, but you can't appease everybody. Mm-hmm. But when I look out at the crowd and I see everybody laughing except 2 or 3 people, you think I give a damn about 2 or 3 people? No, I can't. The world is gonna always change. And I thank God for comedians like Lenny Bruce, who opened it up for us, who actually died for us to have freedom of speech and be able to say what we want to say. But now it's so confusing because it's so many politically correct terms for everything. They just keep making up stuff every day. LBG, they keep adding letters to the LGBTQ. It's a whole damn alphabet now. So you don't even know how to address it. And then as soon as you say something, somebody wants to get offended. But then they want their own right. So one of the things that pisses me off, and I'm going to say this, is this whole thing about the bathroom. They want to be able to, fine, I don't care about you going into the female bathroom, if that's what however you want to do it. But I feel like, what's wrong with you having your own bathroom? At the airport, they got the female, the male, and the LGBT, it, they, them, it, whatever non-binary. It's so many, because then they feel like they're being singled out. But you single yourself out when I say to you, ma'am, and you be like, no, call me they, or don't, I'm not defined by it. So that's where I get confused, because I don't give a damn who you are. You either gonna look like a man or a woman. Ain't nothing in between. There's nothing else in between to look like. So I don't care what you call yourself. And that's what makes the difference when you go in the bathroom. So I had that conversation with my friend. Like, oh, no, we don't want our own bathroom because then people be singling us out. But you want to be singled out. You're out here marching to be singled out, to be who you are. So if I don't want to bring my daughter in the bathroom with you, with your beard and your French roll and your heels on, why can't you do that in your own bathroom? I don't think that's discriminating.
Have you received pushback from that?
Maybe, I don't care. I really don't care what people think or say about me. And that's one thing I think people love about me, because you can't address everything. And I'm not one of those people that will try to, because everybody's entitled to their opinion. And I feel that. And if you don't like that's great. I'm definitely not arguing with you about your opinion. That's one thing I don't get into on Twitter, Instagram. Believe me, I've had all kinds of people comment on my Comedy Central. I had like 2 million views almost. People have all kinds of crazy comments. Why would I argue with somebody about how they feel? So that's how I leave it at that. Because people want that attention. It's like, I don't have that energy to give to you over a comedy show. You either like it or you don't.
Now, you
There's
just
no
mentioned
middle.
comedies. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Comedy Central. Yeah, I did a
Yeah.
Comedy Central in 2017, a special called This Is Not Happening.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep getting a lot of people from all over the world. Everybody's watching. I get people from all over the world that keep hitting me up about it. Because they know I don't even know how to respond to people on YouTube. And if I did, I wouldn't. So when I don't respond, people hit me up. I mean, and they say on Facebook, and they DM me, and they say, I watched your Comedy Central, and you were so funny, and when did you come to my town? Or, oh, I watched your Comedy Central, and did you see my comment that said you sound like Eddie Griffith? And I'm thinking to myself, if you got all this time to be searching me out, I read it, and I wanted to say, yes, I said, yes, I saw that, and left it at that. So then they hit back with a whole bunch of question marks, like I'm going to end it. I don't even know you. I'm not entertaining you, and I'm not going into those whole questions about, so what, I sound like Eddie Griffith. I don't give a damn. That's my voice. God gave this to me, and I love it. It's unique. I'm growing into it. But believe me, I've heard it all, and nothing affects me. Like I said, I got that armor. And if people are sensitive like that and really care about what people say and think about them, their show, or how they do their job, I think you'll be lost. You won't be happy. You really won't. And see, I'm happy. And no, I'm more than happy. I'm joyful. And that's what I tell people, because joy is something that is day to day. I mean, happiness is day to day. Joy is something people can't take away from you. So no matter what you're going through, life, ups and downs, if you have joy in your heart, you're still going to work it out. You'll make it through it. You may be unhappy, but the next day, you'll be fine. So that's how I look at life. So I don't be worrying about what I feel like. Look, at least they watching it. No publicity is better than what they say. Negative publicity is better than none.
Yeah, no, yeah, I've often heard that there's
Yeah,
no such thing as bad
yeah,
publicity.
no
Yeah.
such thing. So I feel like whoever this one person is that's like stalking me about my voice, they have issues. It's not me. You know what I mean? Like, I have a million people. You really want me to know that you said that? So I don't even know how to address that other than just read it and keep it moving. And most of
Now,
the stuff I don't read.
you've done Comedy Central, you've done BET Comicview, you've done a whole lot of things entertainment
Yeah.
wise. But let's switch gears a
Mhm.
little bit. You mentioned that you have
Okay.
a yoga class coming up. How did you get into yoga?
I got into yoga when I got into comedy because I knew I couldn't afford to be sick. And most comedians, when you start out, I quit my job in '97. COVID only lasts for so long. And I was like, wherever I go, I got to be able to take care of me. So yoga is something you can do everywhere. I used to do on the plane, when my back would be hurting, certain stretches that I would do from a long flight, do it in my room. It doesn't require anything other than your body. So I've been doing yoga, and then too, I'm vegetarian, vegan. I don't even know how I'm pescatarian, but I've been vegan for so long, and now I eat salmon because I had a hysterectomy and I need the omega fatty acids. So I do have to eat fish, but other than that, I don't. But I've been doing that since '89. Right. So I always know. I know me. So I can't
Mm-hmm.
afford to be sick. I can't be calling the promoter and be like, oh, I got a cold. I can't make it. That's my money. They're not going to pay me if I'm sick. I can't call out. You see what I'm saying? So that's when I
Mm-hmm.
got into yoga, and I started doing it for myself. And then all of my friends would see, and then I run. But other than, my friends ain't going to run. But my friends would see that I'm always doing yoga and they'd be like, girl, what you do to stay young? No kids and yoga. So I do yoga, and now I teach it. So I'm actually trying to be certified. I have to get so many hours of actual teaching, and people sign a waiver saying if you get hurt, you're going to sue a heifer. but I've been teaching it and I do it virtually. Before I was actually doing in this room in a different places around Philadelphia. So when COVID hit, now people just log on, and I have people from in Clarksville, Tennessee, Atlanta, St. Louis, Houston, Chicago, different people from all over here in Philly. They log on every other day, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 8 p.m. my time. And I do it. See, the yoga that I teach is mostly for people that are having problems. Everybody my age, knee problems, hip replacements, things that they need to do to really limber up and stretch out some muscles. Plus, have some peace of mind. So, I'm not teaching yoga for a goal. We do it as a lifestyle because they need to do it every day, but they can't. I can't do it every day, but it's something that they need to do in order to just be physically, in tune with their body and just strengthen up some muscles and get their backs toned or whatever that they need to do, stretch out some hips. The one lady I'm working with, she's about to have a hip replacement, and the doctor told her she needed to do some yoga and stretch out her hips before the surgery would go better for her.
Amazing.
So it's hard working with people who aren't active at all. So I've learned that just people think yoga is easy, and these people that are in my class, and we are on the floor, and they sweat like crazy. We ain't up doing crazy poses because I found that they can't do everything that I do. So with me doing it on the floor for them, it's worse because you have that resistance against the floor. Like most people think you reach their toes when they're standing up, they get closer, but when you're on the floor, it's harder because you don't have that bounce. And everybody in the class is like, oh, this was easier when we were standing up. I was like, but y'all not ready for the stand up. You got to start out and get limber on the floor first. And plus, it helps me to assess everybody. So I get to, at the end of the class, we usually do about 50 minutes because I talk in the beginning. We go over what it is people are eating or what they're feeling, what their goal is. And at the end, I kind of do corrective motions because I can't physically touch you. So I ask each person if it was anything that they couldn't reach or get to or that I need to modify. I watch each person individually until they get it right. And then that's when they say, oh yeah, I can feel it. And I'm like, well, that's when you're doing it right. Because normally I can walk through and position people, but with them being on screen, I have to say, let me see you. Let me see, nope, that's not right. So that's what we do at the end of the class to make sure everybody's doing things right so they don't injure themselves.
Okay.
You see me having my hot flashes. I got my yoga stuff on under here. I don't want to look all crazy, but we are matching.
We are. We got that blue. We got the black going on. Most definitely.
I just want to be on here with my shoulders all out, my breast sagging, because them yoga things, them athletic bras, they don't give you no support. Well, not the cheap ones I buy from Five Below.
Ooh, she said from Five Below. Okay.
Below 2 in the pack. $5. I figure all I'm gonna do is be up here. It's not like running them. I just be up here doing yoga.
Well, what's coming up next for you? You're doing yoga. You're also doing stand up. I know you just had your first show since COVID in Atlanta. So what else is coming up next for you?
Well, ironically, so I'm back to being on the road. It's just happened so fast. It's like now I got 5 shows in the next month. So it's happened quicker than I anticipated, but I'm glad I got my vaccine. I've had my COVID test because I've been doing background work on different television shows. So they require a COVID test all the time, like every other day in quarantine. So I've been great knowing I haven't gotten sick. But next thing I'm actually about to do, I'm about to do my one-woman show online, streaming, with my live band. When I do my one-woman show, I work with a live band. So it's like the drummer, guitar player, keyboard, singer, all of that. So I'm about to start streaming that and letting people see my show 2 hours online. Yep, that's the next thing I'm working on. So I'm actually going to set it up with the rehearsal with the band so people can see us rehearsing, different things like that. But you won't see the show. You just, you just get
a little the background.
Yeah, get a little background, and then I'm going to be streaming it through a streaming service called Side Door Access. It's set up for artists, mostly artists that they put together, it's a really great service because it's people who aren't working in this field. And then what they do is put you together. They find the people that you may need in your city. They find the location, anything you need, the cameraman, all these people that want work. And if they stream it, everybody gets paid.
And that's called what?
Side door access. It's the bomb.
Side door access for all of you creatives out there.
All
Definitely
you
check
people.
out.
It is a great thing. It is a really great thing because everybody gets paid from the venue to the cameraman, the lighting people. They all get a cut. And if it's my show and I set the price at $20, it streams for $20, but they have to stream it. So when Side Door finds us the location, those people have to stream it so that they can get paid also.
Got it.
So everybody gets paid a flat rate, but then you get paid over and above amount according to how many people are watching your view.
That's good. So many things, yes, have come about as a pivot because of the pandemic. So many things, so many new things. So thank you for sharing that.
Look at me. I look a hot ass mess. Oh my God. I want people to know I don't normally look like this. And this is how you know I'm dyslexic. I don't even know which way I'm supposed to do my hair in the camera.
You know what? I do that too. Because sometimes I'm like, this earring, no, it's that earring. Yeah, it's weird the way the streaming stuff looks. It's so weird.
And this headset is not helping, and my sweat. Everybody be like, girl, why don't you get the shot? I'm not getting no harm shot. I don't do anything that is unnatural. I feel like if you start blocking things that you're not supposed to, like people be blocking sweat. I have a lot of people that I know in Hollywood because they don't want to sweat on the set. They get a shot. No, but then they have other problems. Money is not that important to me. I'm going to tell you right now, baby. I'm trying to live, and I have no side effects.
I understand.
It ain't nothing but a sweat.
Definitely cleans out your pores. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you see B-Phlat's Instagram scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Make sure that you connect with her so that you know when her one-woman show will be streaming on Side Door Access. It has,
I'm going to get that popping soon. So I'm going to set it up in 4 different cities.
Okay,
and see,
awesome.
That's the great thing. If I go to St. Louis, all you do is go online, tell them where you want to do it. They find you a spot. They'll say, do you want to do a coffee house, a theater, a community center? They have different things. Then you can select. And then they say, you tell them what you need. If you need a backup singer, you need a cameraman, you need this, how many. They put all that together. You connect with the people. If they're willing to work and stream it, they like, yeah. And tell them they get $20 for every stream. Side Door only takes like 10% off the gross. It's the bomb.
Sounds like a very good deal. Very good deal.
I watched a couple things on Side Door. Some of my friends are doing them. They were and then you get paid the next day. So you can't beat that. They put it right on your PayPal, Venmo, however you want it. You can't beat that with a baseball bat. And it's literally just performing live for a streaming audience. And it's so professional. Believe me when I tell you, it is not no dang mess. They bring in the one that I watched, they had 5 cameramen, lighting, they provide the audio and everything. They had the sound. It was the bomb, the DJ, just everything, the live band. A friend of mine did a tribute to Prince for 2 hours, and he had to change a costume, everything. It was the bomb.
So we're definitely, okay.
Yeah, I'm going to be on that. And I'm going to be putting it out there. And hopefully I'll send you info and you can put it out there when I start sending out the save the date to let people know. Put it on your calendar to stream this.
Absolutely. We'll do that. Definitely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for tuning in. And tonight, my guest has been comedian B-Phlat and yoga instructor. We're going to add that in there. Definitely connect with her on Instagram. B-Phlat, thank you so much for being on the show tonight.
Thank you, Angela. I love it. I'm sorry I look a hot ass mess, but when I get it together, I'm the bomb.
Look, I've seen you. I have seen
you when I get it
live.
Together.
Yeah.
Hold it.
There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Hilarious. Enjoy the rest of your night and your yoga.
I am, and thank you so much. I'm gonna get ready to set up for that, and then go down and chill with my husband and call it a night.
All right. Enjoy the
Thank
rest
you
of your
so much,
evening.
ma'am. Love
Okay.
you. Have a good one. All righty.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Bye. Well, that is it for tonight's Angela Ray Show. As always, I would like to leave you all with Ray of Motivation number 54. Cleaning a mirror does not change the person who is reflected in it. Until next time, I encourage you all to go out and be the change. Have a great evening. See you all